of the year coming up, I thought today might be a good day to go over 1099s. A new thing with the IRS this year is if you have to file more than 10 1099s, you have to file them electronically. We do have an option to file electronically through Nelco, a third party. So you can use that option with an FBS, or you can just run the report with an FBS to get the numbers you need and then apply them to other way you're going to file your 1099s. The first thing we look at when we're doing 1099s is we'll go to our vendors, and there is a flag on all vendors. It tells you if it's a 1099 vendor. So you can see I have this vendor John Doe, and it does say it is a 1099 vendor. If we look into it a little closer, we can see this option here at the bottom that has a little print 1099, and then we have a little checkbox there. Once you have that set up and you make regular entries to your vendor, you can then run your 1099 report. And this 1099s, of course, we're running this for the year. I'm gonna run it for year 22 because that's just when I have data in here. But you would be running yours for 2023 for the current year. Then you have your option here for what type of 1099 it is, if it's interest, miscellaneous, or 1099 NEC. I'll use that one. And then you pick, the option here is if you use AP or AR. If you do use AP or AR, you're going to use option 2 or 3. If you do not use those modules, you'll use option 1. The vendor name is, you do have a vendor name and a contact name. Sometimes the contact name is used to make sure there's no punctuation within it, because if you're doing e-filing, you cannot have punctuation. I'm just going to use my vendor name because there's no punctuation in my vendor. And then here, your minimum amount for your 1099. I believe this is still around 600, so I'll put a 600 in there. And then here is a type of form. So option 1 is if you have blank pre-printed forms you want to print on, you use that. Number 2 is if you had continuous forms, such for that worked on like a dot matrix, you could use that option. And the number 3 is our e-filing option, which I will pick right now. And then the rest is just if you're printing them out, but we're not. So we're gonna skip these bottom ones. Over here on the right are the boxes that pertain to the boxes that will print on the 1099. So for the 1099 NEC, there are 4 boxes we could potentially print: box 1, box 4, box 5, and box 7. If you aren't sure what's supposed to go in each of these boxes, you can Google it to see what goes in these boxes on a 1099 NEC. I know mine will go in number 1 because I'm doing one for cash rent. So I pick in this box and I pick all of my ledger accounts that could have an expense that I paid to somebody else that requires a 1099. Mine's only account 2001 rent. At that time, I'll click OK, and it will run my report, and it will tell me here who's paying it, which is my farm, and I'm paying it to the 1099 was going to John Doe, and then we have non-employee compensation here for $5,000. At this time, because I was going to e-file it, I would click on this button at the bottom and try to get to fit in the screen for you. This button here says Send to Nelco. I would click on that button. It would have me log in. I'm not going to log in. But I can show you what the screen looks like. So the screen looks something like this. And it will allow you to add a new account. If you don't have one, it has this create account right here. Otherwise, you put in your existing information and you can log in. It will then ask you to download the file, and you will be all set to e-file that. If I just needed to print this information off, I of course could print it from here with no issues, and then print this off and have this reporting option to fill in the form I choose to use outside of FBS and e-filing. Hope that helps. Have a great day.